From the first frames of the movie, we watch a very pale and exhausted woman sitting on board an airplane. The voiceover informs us that from her earliest years Isabella had been motion sickness from any kind of transportation, and neither doctors nor healers could help the girl. Too weak to play with children, the girl spent her childhood in the kitchen. As an adult, Isabella dreamed of becoming a chef and traveling the world. However, unexpectedly, the heroine met Toninho and forgot about all her dreams. The young man showed Isabella sympathy, sang serenades under the window, and soon the lovers were married, which greatly upset the girl's parents. New Recipe's talented heroine allowed the restaurant Toninho become the most popular in Brazil. However, Isabella remained in the shadow of her spouse and refused for his sake to give up a prestigious job. In time, the girl learned to fight motion sickness, was able to drive transportation, and dancing with her husband. Isabella liked to be the first in everything, but this did not suit Toninho. One day the heroine caught her husband with another woman. The crying girl prayed to her goddess and realized that she had to leave her husband. That's how Isabella got on the plane, while Toninho tried unsuccessfully to find her. Finally, exhausted from the flight, the girl reaches San Francisco. Wanting to be on top here too, she drives the cab herself while the driver looks out of the back seat fearfully. Finally, the dangerous ride ends and Isabella goes to meet Monica. However, the concierge informs her that the woman will not arrive until a couple of days later and puts the Brazilian woman in an apartment. When Isabella sees a picture of herself and her husband on the refrigerator, she almost despairs. Meanwhile, Toninho unsuccessfully searches for his wife, and even curses the goddess he has always worshipped out of grief. Isabella, on the other hand, understands the business cards sent to her earlier, and the next day goes in search of work in restaurants. However, in almost all establishments, the heroine is rejected. Her last opportunity is the Culinary Institute. And there the girl still smiles at luck, she becomes a teacher. Toninho, on the other hand, is haunted by bad luck because of his curse, the nets have stopped bringing in fish. At her first lesson, Isabella tells the students about hot peppers, and almost all the varieties remind her of the loving and passionate nights with her husband, which makes the heroine a little sad and regretful. Thinking about it, the girl accidentally injures her finger and runs away from the lesson. At home, Isabella feels depressed and misses her husband. Suddenly she sees an advertisement for the book Women Love Men Who Hate Them on TV, but the author's words only make the heroine angry. Toninho notices the fish missing from the nets in the painting of the sea goddess, and his friends bark at him, saying that if he loved Isabella, he would not have done this to her. The hero prays to the goddess, and the goddess gives him a sign of his wife's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Isabella is dating Monica, a guy who believes he is a girl. The friends chat in the bathroom, and the Brazilian woman, who has run away from her husband, asks why her friend went to prison. Monica tells her that she made a little fun of her ex-boyfriend and he filed a police report in retaliation. Isabella shares her worries about Toninho and her desire to fall out of love with him. The girls call a witch they know, and the witch tells them that the sea goddess can take Isabella's love to the bottom of the sea. The heroine agrees to the rite, and the witch lists the strange ingredients they need to acquire. As a result, the girls perform a strange rite near the sea. Meanwhile, Toninho with his guitar flies to San Francisco to reconcile with his beloved wife. Waking up in the morning, Isabella removes her wedding ring with ease, and sees that she is even prettier, having gotten rid of her unhappy love. Satisfied with her success, the heroine brews delicious coffee, the smell of which wafts through to the talk show host. Going down to the street, the hero sees the enchanting Isabella, and loses the power of speech. Men do not just turn around in her wake, but follow the heroine, gathering in crowds. They even sneak into Isabella's class, unable to tear themselves away from her beauty. Meanwhile, Toninho arrives in town and starts looking for Monica's house, as he only has a photo instead of an address. Isabella's lesson goes wonderfully and is a huge success. After it, the host Cliff Lloyd decides that such an incredible heroine will be perfect for the evening show. Isabella gets to the head of the channel, and he decides to organize a TV show. Lloyd becomes a producer of the new show Food and Passion. Isabella recreates the entourage of Brazil, and decides to cook local cuisine. Before the first broadcast, the girl is very nervous and prays to the sea goddess. The manager and producer are delighted with Isabella, but a little shocked to see Monica in the frame. The cooking show becomes popular even in the bar, where men are mesmerized by the beauty. It is there that Toninho notices his spouse, after which he puts up a fight. After the broadcast, all the staff celebrate the success of the show. A slightly frazzled Toninho goes to the studio where he meets Isabella and takes her aside to talk. At first he argues with his wife, but then tells her that she is beautiful and suggests they go home together. However, Isabella does not agree. She is going to stay in San Francisco and build a career. The heroine leaves her spouse and leaves with Monica. Calls, bouquets, attention, nothing makes Isabella change her mind. Together with the producer, the heroine arrives at the restaurant wearing a gorgeous red dress. She reminds the owner that he once didn't hire her, and the man is shocked to think of the missed opportunity. Lloyd says they're not really having a business dinner, but a date. After the meeting, Isabella explains that she likes the man, but she's not ready for something more just yet. At this time, Toninho is watching their conversation. The man sneaks into the studio with the musicians, thinking that this way he will be able to rekindle the flame in his wife's heart. Right during the broadcast, Toninho sings a song for Isabella, and despite Lloyd's panic, the head of the channel says not to stop broadcasting. The heroine tries to keep herself under control, but immediately after the broadcast ends, she pounces on her spouse. The cops take Toninho away screaming for love. The head of the channel says that this broadcast made a sensation, and they definitely need Toninho and the musicians in every next episode. Lloyd anxiously reminds him that Isabella is unlikely to be enthusiastic about such a decision, but the supervisor remains adamant. The producer informs the heroine of the demands, and she soon agrees. Worried, Lloyd comes to Monica and wants to know how he can win Isabella's heart. Monica says that to understand a girl you have to understand Brazil itself, to feel it. She starts dancing, talking about different corners of this amazing country. During the broadcast, Toninho again tries to talk to Isabella, but the girl does not reassure the hero, saying that they need to get a divorce. Annoyed exclamations of the man get on the air. Lloyd starts fighting with Toninho and throwing fruit at him. The head of the channel says that the episode has made a sensation and they will be shown on the evening news. Now Toninho comes to Monica for advice, because he does not understand how to reconcile with his wife. The girl advises him to learn to be a friend to Isabella first, not to crush her talents with his male authority. At the meeting, Toninho begs for another chance to correct that terrible mistake. Isabella sincerely admits that she no longer loves her husband, and suggests that they remain friends, keeping more or less warm relations. These words shock the man who had hoped for a favorable outcome of the conversation. Seeing his confused face, Isabella apologizes and leaves. Toninho receives a call from his friends, who inform him that there are no fish in the sea and that he must return immediately, otherwise the restaurant will have to close. However, the man continues to stand firm. He will not return to Brazil without Isabella, and she is much more important to him than the restaurant. During another date with Lloyd, Isabella sees an advertisement with her image, but the popularity rather confuses the girl. Toninho continues to appear on the show and looks with despair and longing at his lover who has rejected him. After one of the performances, Monica notices that Isabella looks rather unhappy and lost. She asks her friend what is the reason for this mood, as everything in her life is going wonderfully. Isabella replies that she doesn't know what's wrong. Then Monica advises her friend to fall in love as soon as possible. Lloyd bursts into the dressing room and happily announces that the show will be shown all over the country. Isabella heeds her friend's words and invites the producer to her place. Everything is going fine, but is suddenly interrupted by a message from Toninho. He says that he will love the girl always, and plays a touching song for her. Lloyd stops and confesses that he likes the girl very much, but he feels that she still loves her husband. The man suggests that Isabella sort herself out, after which he leaves. During the next broadcast, the heroine is dressed more modernly, her hair is done and the table is modernized in every possible way. Suddenly Isabella notices that Toninho is absent. She learns that the man left about 2 hours ago. During the broadcast, the new boss is blatantly filming the presenter, ignoring her wishes for the kitchen, lights, and food. After the shoot, Isabella learns that they need to remove Monica from the show. All the innovations seem unpleasant to the heroine, and she quarrels with Lloyd, saying she is leaving. Monica and Isabella go home to drink and relax. After a while, Toninho appears under their window. The man says that he agrees to anything the girl wants for the sake of their marriage and for love. The hero performs a touching song for his beloved, after which he climbs to the balcony on the fire escape. Isabella longingly asks why her husband was not like this before. Toninho confesses that only after losing his beloved did he realize how precious and valuable she was to him. The weeping heroine wants to prepare offerings for the sea goddess to break the spell and return her love to her husband. Monica reminds her that this will not work, but decides not to interfere. Suddenly it turns out that Isabella has forgotten how to cook. Monica proposes to present the goddess with macaroni and cheese instead of soufflé, because the goddess won't feel any difference anyway. The heroines go to the beach, and there Isabella is washed away by a wave. Under the water, the girl sees her previous talisman for the ritual, but she is thrown ashore. Isabella goes to a closed studio, and there she finds Toninho. Together the spouses begin to cook, so that the girl again learns to do what she loves. The smell of the resulting dish is so strong that it makes the amulet eject from the depths of the sea, a terrible thunderstorm breaks out, and the rain from the sky seems salty. Isabella suddenly feels that the curse has been lifted and she is once again in love with Toninho. The heroes, who have regained their love, return back to Brazil. Now Isabella is an equal owner of the restaurant. Together with her husband, the girl cooks, dances, amuses the guests, and feels like the happiest person in the world. And the sea goddess continues to protect and educate the people of Brazil. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.